I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Confused, bond that can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walk the mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Used to lose, built to win, applied myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win, applied myself.
Welcome back to CTC. I am your gracious host, Carl. I'm here. I know Wednesday, I normally give you a preview of the entire week up and coming, but unfortunately, I'm going through a little health issue with my head, so I wasn't able to really work like I wanted to get my preview for the whole entire week. So I was able to get my preview done for the weekday, for today, tomorrow, and Friday. I've been trying to work at it little by little for the entire week. I didn't want to leave y'all with nothing though, so I'm gonna do my weekday preview today. I have all the way up until Saturday afternoon games completed. So little by little, I'm gonna try to make sure that gets done tomorrow, so I can leave y'all with my weekend preview tomorrow, and that way y'all can have it before the weekend games. I'll even recap tonight's game tomorrow. But yeah, just wanted to give you an update on why the show is a little different. Like I said, man, just got experiencing some things with my head. I'm straight. I mean, it's not deadly or nothing, or you know what I'm saying. I go through this at least once a year, so it's routine at this point. But yes, that's enough about me. So I'm gonna ask for you to like, comment, and subscribe if you like the content on this show or the content on the network. You have my show, CTC. You have the main show featuring Joe, Tomo, and Dave. You have BWT, Baseball with Teddy. He just went over postseason games last night. Pretty sure he's going to go over the postseason games today. You have FFC, Fantasy Football with Coach. He's actually going live, I think, after the main show today. So, well, it's not going live. He's not going to be live, but his show will air tonight. You know, he's going to probably give you some fantasy heroes, some fantasy bus. You know, we got the game tomorrow, so he'll probably give you some starts and who to sit, things of that nature. So if you like any of the content with those shows, please like, comment, subscribe, go watch their videos. Same thing. Just show them support. So with that being said, you know, Wednesdays, I do always start with some poll talk. So let's get to it. Let's talk about these polls. And like I said, Sunday, which you probably already knew, Florida is up out of there. Florida got dominated by Kentucky, ran through literally by Ray Davis in Kentucky. So they're gone. They're no longer in the polls. Now, a surprise, maybe it's not so shocking. Maryland at 5-0 is not in the polls. Now, I don't find it too shocking because the teams they beat probably aren't, I mean, they're not good. Like, they beat UVA. They beat Michigan State, which we're not good since the whole scandal thing. They beat Charlotte. They beat, hold on, let me pull it up. They beat Indiana, and they beat Towson. None of those games put me in the top 25. They're undefeated, but they're doing what they're supposed to do. Louisville actually got in, however, at 25. Kentucky got in, and they went from unranked to 20th. But we'll start from top to bottom. So, number one, actually top 5, top 7, there's no changes. So, still 1, Georgia, 2, Michigan, 3, Texas, 4, Ohio State, 5, Florida State, which it looks like Florida State got more first place votes than Ohio State from what I'm looking at. So I don't know how that 5. It says Ohio State has 1, Florida State has 4, but that's the order. Penn State 6, Washington 7, Oregon moves up to 8, SC drops down to 9, Notre Dame moves up to 10, and I'll stop right there. Now, Georgia at 1, fine. Like I said, they don't look as dominant as they had the past 2 years, but they're still number 1. They're still back-to-back champs, so you got to give them that respect. Honestly, I think Texas should be 2. Texas has better wins than Michigan. Texas beat 2 ranked teams. Now, Kansas is not unranked after this week, but they were ranked going into that game. They beat Alabama. Kansas and Alabama are both better wins than what Michigan has had. So, in my opinion, Texas should be 2. Ohio State should be 3. Michigan should drop to, I think, honestly, Michigan should drop to 4. I get Florida State does have a ranked win against LSU, but FSU has also struggled with Boston College, struggled to get out of Clemson. So I think Michigan should be 4. Florida State should be 5. Texas should be 2. Ohio State should be 3. I'm fine with Penn State at 6. I'm fine with Washington at 7. I'm fine with Oregon at 8. If you want to put Notre Dame at 9, go ahead. They got ranked wins over Duke. A ranked win over Duke, excuse me. So if you want to do that, that's fine. But I'm cool with SC at 9, Notre Dame at 10. Then we got Alabama at 11, I'm cool with. Oklahoma at 12, fine. Washington State at 13. UNC is 14. Oregon State at 15. Ole Miss at 16. Miami at 17. Utah at 18. Duke at 19. Kentucky, like I said, unranked to 20. No problems here. Mizzou at 21. Shout out to Eli Drinkowitz. Tennessee at 22. Not mad there. LSU at 23. Might be because they're in the SEC, to be honest, but they are still a good team. They lost to 2 top 20 teams. They lost to Florida State and Ole Miss, who's 16. So they have lost 2 ranked games. They have played a tough schedule, so I'm not mad at 23. Fresno State moves up to 24, and Louisville sneaks in at 25. Like I said, man, if I had to complaint, my main complaint would be with the top 5. The way is really top 4. The way the top 4 is, Georgia should be 1 in my opinion. Texas should be 2, and my bad. And Ohio State should be 3. Michigan should be 4. Now, if you want to say Michigan has beat Ohio State the last 2 years, and that's why Michigan should stay at 3, fine. Can't argue that. But that's just my opinion. So moving on from Pole Talk, we got the first game, which is tonight, 8 o'clock. My beloved Jacksonville State Gamecocks at Middle Tennessee State Raiders tonight, 8 o'clock on ESPNU. So if you're new here, what I do is I give 5 keys for each team on to try to win the game as my previews. These are my 5 keys. I mean, you can agree, disagree. You can let me know in the comments what you agree with. You can let me know what you disagree with. I've had people last week. I had a guy talk to me about my keys with West Virginia, and I appreciated it. And I had a guy talk to me about my keys with the Clemson-Syracuse game, which I appreciated. You know what I'm saying? So if you feel like you agree, disagree, just let me know. I'll talk to you in the comments. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I don't think I'm above anybody's criticism or anything like that. I don't want people to think, oh, if I say something to him, he's just going to be like, who are you? No, we can have a discussion about it. So game 1 tonight, Jack State. Is Logan Smothers the guy moving forward, which I think he is for Jack State over Zion Webb? Establish the run. Get Malik Jackson and Ron Wiggins going. If y'all remember from my week 0 preview, which was almost 7 weeks ago now, how time is flying. I said these 2 running backs for Jack State are phenomenal. Smothers has to be a consistent passer. So I understand Jack State loves to run the ball, but you can't be one-dimensional. You can't just run all game unless you're a military academy, obviously. Unless you're a military academy. But you have to mix in the pass to keep these defenses off balance. And can he pass well enough to do that? I understand Jack State is a run-heavy team, but Logan Smothers is going to have to pass the ball. If you remember last week against Sam Houston State, last game when the drive, they had to pass the ball, and he was able to do so late game. So they have to get to Nick Vitiato. They have 14 sacks on the year, so get to Nick Vitiato. And the defense will be tested, have to bounce back from giving up 28 points to Sam Houston State, which I believe might have been tied for the most points that Sam Houston State has scored all year. So that defense is going to be tested because Middle Tennessee State, they can spread the ball around. They can run the ball. I don't think the record indicates how good Middle Tennessee State actually is. But for Middle Tennessee State, can't throw 2 interceptions like last week. Cannot. They was able to get a turnover from Austin Reed, but they threw it right back. Then they had 2 picks. So you can't do that against this Jack State team who wants to run the ball, who wants to speed, play high tempo. They want to tire your defense out to late games. Can't do that. Establish the run to help Vitiato. Is exactly what it sounds like. Get Peasant the ball, get these guys the ball, and let them, take the load off of Nick Vitiato. Get the ball to Elijah Metcalf. So when Vitiato does drop back the pass, you got to get the ball to Metcalf. I think Metcalf is his best weapon, his best receiver. He honestly should have had a touchdown, but it was called back early in the game against Western Kentucky. Trey Fluellen has to be disruptive. So Trey Fluellen is the one that caught the pick. Trey Fluellen is a pretty good safety for the Raiders. For the Blue Raiders. So Fluellen, man, just keep being disruptive. You got to, especially tonight, because you're going to have your hands full in the run game. So have to try to make tackles within 4 or 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, maybe even closer. Try to get an interception. Just do what you do, Trey. Force Jack State to beat you in the air. So, like I said, this Jack State team, they love to run the ball. They want to beat you on the ground, high tempo. Force Logan Smothers to beat you with his arm. Can Logan Smothers beat you with his arm? I know he had to drive last week, but can he consistently do that throughout a game? And now, also in my previews, I pick a winner. My winner, as underdogs, I'm calling my shot with Jack State again. They're 3-point dogs on the road, and I'm going with Jack State to win this game. I think Jack State is the better team, the better defense. They're going to run the ball. They're going to have success running the ball. So give me Jack State. The next game tonight, FIU at New Mexico State, Wednesday. Well, tonight, 9 o'clock on CBS Sports Network. For FIU has to get a pass game going. I know his name's Sione James, I believe, could not get a pass game going. They turned to the backup, and he's been able to pass the ball. Let me make sure I'm not butchering his name. So the starter is Keon Jenkins now, who was the backup. Keon, I believe. Let me make sure. Yeah, Keon. So I said it with an M. It's with an N. Keon Jenkins. The backup was Grayson James. I don't know where I got Sione from. Grayson James. I'm glad I looked it up. Grayson James was the backup. He couldn't get a really pass game going, so they turned to Jones and Jenkins. Jesus Christ, my head. They turned to Jenkins, and he's been able to do a little something. But he has to stop the interceptions. He has 5 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Can't give teams extra possessions. Feed Shamari Lawrence, who's honestly the best player on his team. He's running back, so feed him. He was, if you remember back to week 0, he was the only one that got anything going against Louisiana Tech. Contain Diego Pavia, a dynamic quarterback for New Mexico State. Have to contain him if you have any chance of winning this game. And make Pavia make a mistake. Pavia, I want to make sure here because I forgot to write it down. Like I said, Pavia has, why are they not showing? 4 interceptions. He has 4 interceptions on the season. Can you make him make 5? Make him have interception 5 and 6. For New Mexico State, force FIU to throw the ball. Like I said, man, their best players, the running back Shamari Lawrence. Passing game really hasn't been able to go off the ground like you would want it to. So force them to have to beat you through the air. Diego get dynamic. Like I said, they have to stop him if you're FIU. But New Mexico State, man, you want Diego to beat you on the ground, through the air. You want the defense guessing. You want the defense on his heels with Diego. Don't give FIU extra possessions. So like I said, man, he got 4 picks on the year. Don't make it 5-6. Keep going, sustain the drives. Stop Shamari Lawrence. Self-explanatory. Get Jonathan Brady and Trent Hudson the ball. They both have 3 touchdowns apiece. They're probably the best receivers for New Mexico State. So if you feed them, on the outside, it will help with getting Diego to be dynamic. Now, for this game, I'm choosing New Mexico State. They're the home team. I think they're the better team. FIU struggles through the air. I just don't like this FIU team as much, so I'm going to go with New Mexico State to win this game. Moving on, we have tomorrow, Sam Houston State at Liberty. Tomorrow, Thursday, 7 o'clock on CBS Sports Network. Now, again, there's Thursday night football tomorrow. Commanders, Bears at the Commanders. Probably won't be watching a lot of this game. Well, I will because I have to give y'all the recap for it. But it'll be on my phone. It will be on the main TV till about 8:15, 8:30, whatever time the Commanders come on. Then it will be on my phone, but I will still be able to give y'all a recap of the game. So for Sam Houston State, has to repeat offensive production. Like I said, they put up 28 points last week against Jacksonville State. Can they do that? They have to. Has their hands full with Liberty offense. Liberty offense is looking crazy this year. Quarterback's going nuts. I think he has what? I want to say he has like 12 to 15 touchdowns. Liberty's quarterback. He's been playing phenomenal this year. Can they stop that? He has 11 touchdowns, 1 interception. Keegan Shoemaker has to flip his touchdown interception ratio. He has 2 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. You have more interceptions than touchdowns. That's never good. It's never good if it's even close, let alone more interceptions than touchdowns. Force Caden Salter, which is Liberty's quarterback, to turn the ball over. He only has 1 INT all year, like I said. So can you force him to have another 2, maybe have a touchdown interception ratio like Keegan's in the game? Can they get to Salter? They only have 3 sacks on the year, which is not good. They have more games played than sacks, which if you give Salter time, he's going to pick you apart. They have to get to him. For Liberty, score. I said 28 points should win this game because, like I said, Sam Houston State's offense has not been great this year. They put up, I want to say they had 0 against BYU. And I want to say they had 3 against Houston. No. Yeah, they had 0 against BYU. They had 3 against Air Force, They had 7 against Houston. And 28 was the most points they put up this year against Jack State. Force Shoemaker to keep throwing the ball. Keep turning the ball over. This defense has 10 interceptions for Liberty. Liberty's defense has 10 picks. Shoemaker has 4 picks with only 2 touchdowns. So force them to throw the ball, and Keegan Shoemaker may throw you one. You just got to catch it. Get Quentin Cooley in the end zone. Running back for Liberty has 323 yards with no rushing touchdown. I believe no receiving touchdown. Get him in the end zone this week. Caden Salter, be dynamic. 11 touchdowns passing, 5 rushing touchdowns. He has 16 total touchdowns on the year so far, and only Liberty's 5th game coming up tomorrow. So, man, just let him be great and sling the rock around. Quarterback has 919 yards, 11 touchdowns. Let him be great. Let him throw the ball around. Leading receiver has 288 yards on 12 catches and 2 touchdowns. So that's Mr. Trayon Sibley. So let him sling the rock around. And honestly, for this game, as you probably can tell, I'm going with Liberty. Jamie Chadwell got these boys 4-0, looking to be 5-0. One of the top teams, I believe, in Conference USA. You have in Conference USA this year. Should be a contender for the title. I say them in Western Kentucky should be contenders for the title. They actually meet 1, 2, not next week, but the week after next. So that should be a great matchup and a great preview into maybe the Conference USA Championship. Now we move on to Western Kentucky at Louisiana Tech, Thursday, 8 o'clock p.m. on ESPNU. Western Kentucky, I have the same point. 28 points should win this game. Louisiana Tech offense is real spotty. Hank Bachmeier, will he be back? We don't know. Let Austin Reed come out slinging again. Last week, they let him come out slinging. They were up at half. They had like 34 passes at first half. So let him come out slinging the rock. LT Sanders and Elijah Young looked really good last week. They really did. I think, Elijah Young had that 14-yard touchdown run with the hurdle. LT Sanders looked good. So they look really good. Keep them established on the ground. Keep Malachi Corley involved. 70 yards in the first half. I think he only ended with like 84. But, just, he's your best receiver. Don't let Smoke Harris beat you. Don't let him have a great punt return. Don't let him get going through in the receiving game. Don't let him get in open space and make plays. Shut down Smoke Harris. I've said it time and time again. This is Louisiana Tech's best player. Now for Louisiana Tech, is Hank Bachmeier back? We don't know. And with college, it sucks because you don't hear nothing until like probably last minute. So we remain to see if Hank Bachmeier is back. If he's not back, lean on Tyree Shelton, the running back for Louisiana Tech. Now, the quarterback that played last week, I'm blanking on his name. I watched the game and everything. I'm still blanking on his name. But he didn't look bad last week. He didn't look great either, but he didn't look bad. He had a couple throws. But I just don't think he will be able alone to beat Western because he's not going to outgun Austin Reed. What is his brand name? Give me 1 second. Jack Turner. Jack Turner. He's not going to outgun Austin Reed. So you have to lean on Tyree Shelton. Get Smoke Harris the ball in multiple ways, whether, forcing 3-and-outs, punts, letting them get a chance in the return game, screens, jet sweeps, short passes, things like that. Have to turn Austin Reed over. You're going to have to create extra possessions to even have a chance against this Western Kentucky offense. And defense coming to hit because Western Kentucky does run a lot of bubbles, short screens, things of that nature to get the receivers on one-on-one opportunities, get them in open space, try to make people miss in open field. So you got to come ready to tackle this week. But I'm going with Western Kentucky on the road. Honestly, just overall way better of a team. Got the better quarterback. Quarterback is in the question for Louisiana Tech. We don't know if it's Bachmeier, don't know if it's Turner. So I'm going to just go with the tried and true Austin Reed. Again, Western Kentucky is a contender for the Conference USA Championship this year. So I'm going to go with them. All right, we move on to Friday. And like I said, I will only be doing this weekday games. So tomorrow, hopefully my head is better. Hopefully I can finish up these Saturday games so I can give you the weekend or the Saturday games. Like I said, I got the noon games finished. I just got to go from afternoon to night. So moving on, Kansas State at Oklahoma State. Friday, 7:30, ESPN. Kansas State had 2 weeks to prepare. They're coming off a bye week. I'm going to just say it now. So does Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State also had a bye week last week, so they also had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. Can DJ get his repeat performance against UCF? 4 touchdowns, 200 rushing yards. Just a phenomenal game. Incredible. He was one of my major performances that week. Can he repeat? Will Howard has to be studied. So Will Howard's been playing consistently good. He hasn't had an outlier game yet. He's just been playing consistent throughout the year. Can he consistently do that or even play better? They score a lot. They win because Oklahoma State can't sustain offense. They can't. They can't. They can't even, to be honest, they've been shuffling through 3 quarterbacks, Alan Bowman. Why am I forgetting the other 2 names? Especially one of them, the transfer, not Drew Pine. Is it Drew? No, Drew Pine is at Arizona State. I can't remember the other 2 quarterback names, but I do remember Alan Bowman being shuffled through. One of them that's Alan Bowman's from Michigan. I can't remember. Hold on, give me 1 second, fellas. Is it Gunnar Rangel? Garrett Rangel and Gunnar Gundy. That's the third. Gunnar Gundy. So they've been shuffling between them 3. So they really haven't been able to sustain much offense. Get to the quarterback. They already can't sustain a quarterback, let alone sustain offense. Kansas State has 14 sacks on the year. Get to the quarterback, disrupt everything. Now, for Oklahoma State, beside the point I made about also coming off a bye week, is Alan Bowman the guy moving forward? Alan Bowman looks like he's the best under the range for the Oklahoma State offense. He looks like he's the man for the job. 2 weeks ago against Iowa State, they didn't shuffle. They went Alan Bowman throughout the whole game. So I think he should be the guy moving forward. Can they build off a 27-point performance against Iowa State? Iowa State is not a bad defense. They're a bad team, but not a bad defense. They've always had a good defense. So 27 points against them is actually pretty good, especially for Oklahoma State team that can't score, who came off a game of scoring 7 points against Southern Alabama and a loss. Actually got blown out. So Can they build on that with the bye week? If Allen Bowman is the quarterback, can't turn the ball over, you get his Kansas State team extra possessions, is over for you. It's already probably over for you if you don't. So you can't make it worse on yourselves by doing it. And can they establish the run to sustain long scoring drives? So they have to sustain long scoring drives, try to make Kansas State speed up their offense. But in reality, Kansas State should win this game pretty easily. Better team, better offense, better defense, better overall in general. Oklahoma State this year has been lackluster. They struggled to score against, I believe, Central Michigan. I mean, obviously, I just talked about them struggling to score against Southern Alabama. Only scored one touchdown in a blowout loss, 33-7. They did, like I said, they did do good against Iowa State. They struggled before blowing the game open late against Arizona State. So this offense has been a struggle bus all year. No, it was Central Arkansas, not even Central Michigan. It was Central Arkansas. So I'm going to go with Kansas State. And the last preview I got for y'all today is Nebraska at Illinois, Friday, 8 o'clock p.m., Fox Sports 1. Nebraska, whoever's at quarterback needs to play better against better defenses, whether it's Jeff Sims, who's hurt, but again, it's college. You don't get these updates. Or Hank Harburg. I said Hank Heinrich Harburg. You don't know who's going to start. We'll probably find out Friday before kickoff. Have to turn Luke Omeyer over. He has 5 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Again, a negative touchdown interception ratio. Not good. Not what you want to see out of a quarterback. So, yeah, get to him, make him turn the ball over. Establish Anthony Grant and Gabe Irvin Jr. That'll take a lot of the pressure off of Harburg and Sims. So, establish those guys. Have to key in on Reggie Love. Major focal point of Illinois' offense. If you key in and stop him, it'll be a long day for Illinois because Almighty will have to sling the ball around. And like I said, 5 touchdowns, 7 interceptions is not great. That plays in Nebraska's favor. And can you finish drives? Can they finish drives? They had a turnover on downs. They always kill themselves with turnovers. Harburg had a pick last week against Michigan. Believe they had a fumble last week against Michigan. Turnover on downs. Jeff Sims, turnover machine he is. Can they finish drives without turning the rock over? And for Illinois, defense has to be opportunistic. Same thing I just said. Nebraska is turnover prone. Have to be opportunistic, ready for that turnover. Altmaier has to cut the interceptions. 7 INTs. Got to cut it. Feed Reggie Love early and often. Get him going. Take the pressure off Altmaier. Make Nebraska load the box. Allow, which leads into my next point, feed Isaiah Williams and Pat Bryant. When they load the box, that leaves Isaiah Williams and Pat Bryant in one-on-one situations. Then he can go to his guys that can be one-on-one coverage. And force Nebraska to beat you through the air. Again, his quarterback, well, not these, because, I mean, Harburg did have a 1 pick, but that's his first of the year. Michigan has been catching like a pick every week. So don't know if that's really him yet or, you know what I'm saying, if that was just the Michigan defense being the Michigan defense. But we know that's Jeff Sims. We know he's turnover prone. If he's in that game, force him to throw. He's going to throw you a pick. You got to catch it. But with that being said, and this one was a tough one, like so tough, I just had to go back to who I picked in my preseason Big Ten preview. And I picked Nebraska to start before the season. So I'm going to just pick them because I honestly could not choose between the two. I chose Nebraska, like I said, based off my preseason pick. Man, both of these teams have struggled offensively. Both of these teams are both defensive. Their defense is the strong suit of their team. So it's going to be a defensive slugfest, in my opinion. I just chose Nebraska, like I said, based on my preseason pick. And with that being said, that is the weekday previews for week 6. Excuse me. I will be back tomorrow to hopefully give you the rest of Saturday. I will be back tomorrow to also preview the games tonight. That will be first. I will preview tonight's games first. And then, I will recap tonight's games first. Then I will preview the rest of Saturday. And if you like it better, well, actually, never mind. Scratch that because, like I said, next week I'm going to Monday, Wednesday, and Sunday. So what I was about to say was about to be stupid, so don't worry about that. But like I said again, next week it will be Monday because we have Tuesday and Wednesday football. Wednesday we'll recap Tuesday football games and then preview Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Or what I might do is Monday preview the weekdays, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. and Wednesday preview Saturday games. That's what I'm gonna end up doing. I'm gonna do that. So Monday will be poll talk. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Wednesday will be Saturday recapping Tuesday, and then Sunday will be my regular recaps. College basketball will be starting soon. I do still have to figure out what I'm gonna do for the preseason of college basketball. What I might just do is I might just go over the top 25 polls in college basketball, pick a conference winner from each college basketball conference. Maybe, I'm not sure yet. I'm still thinking about it. Or what I might just do is wait for the first week of college basketball to tip off, start going over, and then just recap the first week and stuff like that. So just stay tuned. I will announce what I'm doing then. I still have time to figure it out. But with that being said, that is the end of CTC for today. I will hopefully see y'all tomorrow, and I'm gone. Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all at the next episode.